Welcome back to the Not Fancy League. As always, I'm Rob,
And I'm Tyler.
and we are coming at you post Week 12, pre Week 13. We took a break last week. I was sick. I couldn't really do anything. I slept for 13 hours straight on Tuesday into Wednesday, so my body was shot. And we had Thanksgiving, so it just made sense. But we're back, and things have shaken up for sure in the league. But before we start, I want to talk about the catch-up week. So it's not this upcoming week, it is next week. So it is week 14. And it is going to be when we as a league draft who we're going to play that week, starting with the team at the bottom all the way to the top. So it's going to have a lot of implications on who's in the playoffs and what's going on. So be on the lookout for something from me in the next week or so about the rules for this and how we're going to do it as a league so everyone can do the catch-up week and we have our matchups right. So just everybody be on the lookout for that. It's coming up soon.
Yeah. If you had to choose somebody for your catch-up week, who would you play?
Well, I'm trying to lose, so probably either Where's DeMarco Murray or Rock Springs Football Club because they're 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Do a little standing updates. After 2 weeks, got a little extra movement coming.
Yes.
The standings on East versus West kind of balanced themselves out because we got Team Arias and DeMarco Murray. The season ended today, both making the playoffs at 7 and 5. While the standings at 6 and 6. We'll just hop over in Rock Spring Football Club's clinches a playoff spot. First team
Officially.
to do that.
Yes.
With 2 weeks left at 9 and 3, and the other final playoff spot, Field of Dreams, at 8 and 4, with Post Dookie Lamar looking just out at 7 and 5.
Yeah, Trich of Post Dookie Lamar texted me and said if he scores the most points in the league and he doesn't get in, he's going to be very upset. My response to him is that you lost to Team Arias. They got the same record, head-to-head. I can't do anything about that. That was when he was on an absolute tear. And apparently Team Arias works in streaks. 5 and 5, 0 and 5 and 0, 0 and 5, 2 and 0, with 2 games to play. So we'll see where he ends up. But yeah, currently in the playoffs now. That's definitely our biggest story, is that we have a shakeup there, and it's not one of the teams from the East Division. It's one of the teams from the West. But moving on to, I guess just once again, I'm just going to reiterate this. The catch-up week is going to be really, really big in determining these final playoff spots. Specifically talking to you, Trich, just choose to play. Just play Team Arias. You hand him a loss, you're in the playoffs. Seems easy enough. I mean, that's all you got to do.
Just hope nobody picks him before that. I mean, I won't plan on doing that, but yeah.
I also don't plan on picking him. So let's just move on.
Yeah. Let's go to the L's of the week. This week I had Travis Etienne with like 0.5 points, I believe.
I think it was 0.3. It was pretty bad.
0.3. Absolute howler of a week. Rob, he was your player. Any thoughts on him?
Yeah, he got hurt, so that's what happened. He got 3 yards and then got hurt. That hurts a lot. Team Blasi suffered bad from that one. Doesn't really affect them. They're not in anything. They are officially at 0%. There are 3 teams currently at 0% in the playoffs. Team Blasi is one of them, so it doesn't really matter for him. He just gets a better shot at that number 1 pick. My L of the week, I'm going to go with Drake London. He's one of the reasons that Where's DeMarco Murray lost. Justin Fields was out this week, so that offensive utility spot becomes available. Start Drake London. He gets 6 points. It's not quite Justin Fields' numbers. It's not like those 35, 40-point games he was putting up where he was back-to-back MVPs of the week. Big difference. That's why he loses and why the standard is still alive. So 6 and 6, partly on the shoulders of Drake London. And then moving on to our MVP of the week. I got Miles Sanders. There's a more obvious one, but he's going to come up next. Miles Sanders, 2 touchdowns. Post Dookie Lamar drops 180 points. Still on the outside looking in, but the best week this week was Post Dookie Lamar.
Yeah, he had a great week, but I mean, the guy who set the Raiders all-purpose yards, just yardage with Josh Jacobs with 303 yards, I believe.
Yes, sir.
It's absolutely amazing game, ending up with 48.3 points. Just electric game, giving the standard a win over DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, that was a big win for the standard because he can catch anybody too. So he could pick Team Arias if he wants to play Team Arias to hand him a loss and get himself in the playoffs. So big things coming next week when we're going to draft for the catch-up week. Because, the standard on the back of Josh Jacobs is still in this thing. Don't sleep on the teams that are at the bottom because they have a chance.
Yeah. Going into the 12 recap, we'll just do our game, the tank off. And I won this I won this one.
But did you win?
Yeah. Did I win? We're doing multi-levels of winning / losing. We're just going to go into the game. You win 120 to 114. Not a lot going on here. I mean, it's a tank off for a reason.
It was not.
Kyler Murray looked fine. Joe Burrow looked fine. But the rest of my team, I mean, Rachaad White actually looked like he's the RB1, which is very promising.
Smoke your thing. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Come on, break the thing out.
I got my I got my little pipe from the 1920s.
So congrats to the Danger Witch right there with their loss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but you're sitting bottom 2. But yeah, you were talking about Rachaad White, who I gave up for a second-round pick.
Yeah. And then your team kind of did the same thing. I mean, DJ Moore had a good, promising week with 20 points, and then Joe Burrow did an okay week, pretty good.
Yeah, I was, oddly enough, trying to pick the guys that wouldn't go off this week, and I picked incorrectly. I picked DJ Moore over Gabe Davis, and Gabe Davis didn't do anything, and DJ Moore caught a touchdown. And I started George Pickens over Josh Palmer, and he outscored Josh Palmer. So apparently I'm great at picking guys that are not going to be good, that are actually good. So we'll see how that works for my tanking. We'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit more. But yeah, let's move into... I worked out
with Brian Robinson and Isaiah McKenzie, both getting 20 points sitting on the bench.
Yeah, that is true. So moving from one tank off to a team that's down low to a team that is now in the playoffs, Team Arias versus Team Blassie. I would say this is the resurrection of Team Arias, where they're kind of back and sort of a threat to teams. They dropped 157. Josh Allen put up big numbers again. Jimmy Garoppolo serviceable as a second quarterback, and Amon-Ra is healthy. And that's a big, big reason why Team Arias goes. When Amon-Ra goes off, he looks good, and maybe Aaron Jones is worth that first-round pick, dropping 19 points.
Yeah, I mean, Adrian's in a win-now situation. He gets a player that's proven to get points with, and then having Amon-Ra, like you talked about, getting him healthy. Then T.J. Hawkinson, just a real, I mean, we're counting him second overall pick, but if it gets him the victory, that's what matters. And then, I mean, Blassie did all right. Had Jalen Hurts was being an MVP candidate like he's been, and then also Geno Smith, also being. Are we saying MVP candidate? Is he an MVP candidate?
I don't know. Jalen Hurts exists is the thing. He has the other MVP candidate on his team. So I don't think he's an MVP candidate. He might be like a most improved player, something like that, something in that category. Then Garrett Wilson is pretty good. That's a nice long-term pickup. It looks like him and Mike White have some kind of special connection, and long-term for the Jets that might work out because Mike White's the guy. So
is Mike White the guy going forward? Okay. Head into the third game, we got worst DeMarco Murray versus the Standard. The Standard taking the win, 159 to 131. And I mean, like we talked about earlier with the MVP of the week, you got Josh Jacobs dropping 48 points. Yeah. It's a pretty easy glide, but I mean, he still had some help with Trevor Lawrence looking promising. Mm-hmm. He's been having a very good month so far. Yeah, he's definitely kind of turned it around. They were really bad, and he's much better now. Yeah. And then T. Higgins and DK Metcalf also dropping 20-plus points, which helped. Yeah. And as far as where's DeMarco Murray goes, he definitely misses Justin Fields. We touched on that. Justin Herbert in one of his best games of the season, which is really good for him. He's kind of starting to turn it on at the right time here. The Niners got to figure out what they're going to do with CMC. Because it seems like he's either going to score a bunch of touchdowns and throw touchdowns and do all of this, or just not even really be involved. The Elijah Mitchell injury helps out, but he really didn't do a lot for you this week. Not necessarily the reason you lost, but definitely a reason that you didn't win. Was because CMC just really didn't perform. And then moving on to the Rock Springs Football Club versus Fields of Dreams. And I have a take on this because Theo was firmly in the playoffs. He had locked himself into the playoffs 100% unconcerned. And he's playing his brother, who is deep in a playoff race. And if you look at the Rock Springs Football Club, Tyreek Hill's on the bench. Everything else looks pretty normal. Everything else looks pretty normal. But Tyreek Hill is on the bench. So maybe there was some collusion going on there. I can't say anything as the commissioner because he did start a guy that's projected over 5 points in Brandon Cooks. He got 11 points. He did not outscore Tyreek Hill, but it was only 5 points. Not that big of a difference. Not even enough for him to win. So it doesn't really matter. I don't know. But it seems like the Rock Springs Football Club might have handed Fields of Dreams a victory. Yeah, it might be something to look forward to in the years going forward if this might be a collusion situation.
Yeah, we will see.
It'll be a funny story to happen. And going to our last game, we got Squiggs versus Post-Duke Lamar. And Post-Duke Lamar, is this the highest score?
He's hit 200 points before. Other teams have hit 200 points before. But this is definitely one of his better weeks. His quarterbacks weren't even that crazy. I think it was mostly Miles Sanders and Chris Godwin. And just kind of like, if you look, everybody went double digits except for his defense. So it was just a really all-around performance. Still trying to get into the playoffs. The fact that he's on the outside looking in, I can't imagine the pain that's going on right now in the post-Dookie Lamar locker room.
Yeah, it's I mean his team's just stacked, and then Team Squiggs we talking to later. He talked about his quarterback woes, and it'll be interesting. I guess trade doesn't already happen, but what moves he'll make, any moves actually on the waiver wire. But
you had to see if he's going to even use the waivers. Yeah, we got into all about Team Squiggs in his interview, which is coming up after this. But in the meantime, let's move on to our Week 13 preview. Last week, before the catch-up week, last standard week that we have as a league here in the Not Fantasy League before the playoffs start. So, Tyler, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, we didn't do the Egg Bowl math. We'll just do the Egg Bowl math next week. So don't worry about it, but I'm still probably ahead.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna keep making picks. Tyler's ahead by at least 4 or 5 games. That's what we're at still, because we just keep picking the same teams to win.
So we start with the Standard versus the Danger Witch, and I'm gonna go with the Standard because I think I can out-tank him. That's basically my rationale.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Standard as well. He needs to get the win. It seems like are you almost at full strength?
Yeah, but I mean,
it doesn't matter. You're projected like 88 points here.
I have 2 players that are on buys right now, so that's why as well.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Standard. That's my take.
Head over to Blasi versus the Field of Dreams. Rob, who do you think on this one?
I'm gonna go with Fields of Dreams. They need a win in order to stay completely ahead of everybody. He's gonna try to start everybody that he can.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm going Field of Dreams as well. Not much to say. One person's in the tank bowl, the other person's trying to make a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Going to one that I guess is another crappy situation with Adrian versus you. Another situation of playoff versus not playoff hunt. Any upsets here?
No, it's not being upset here. I don't know if you can see. My team is at full strength, no buys, no injuries, and we projected under 90 points. So you could say that the tank's in full effect right now. We got to stay bottom 4 in order to have a chance at this number 1 pick. We're going to be staying bottom 4. I really, really doubt I win this week.
Just looking through your lineup. Wow, how you got that many? But I'm
Everybody
going
projected 7 points. My entire team's projected 7 points. It's every single person on that roster. And then just watch me win. Watch me go off. It's George Pickens gets 3 touchdowns. Josh Palmer goes crazy. Huge. Chase Claypool finally gets in the end zone as a Bear. Yeah, we'll see. But
against the Packers, that'd be very nice. Going to a game that actually will be probably enjoyable. Rock Springs Football Club versus Team Squiggs. I think I'm gonna go Rock Springs Football Club. They got it clinched, but they still want to make a statement to the league.
I'm gonna go with Team Squiggs because if Joe Mixon's back, his team's much better. We talked to him about that. That he thinks his team at full strength can compete with anybody, and I think Rock Springs Football Club doesn't really care to win any of these games. I'm not gonna say there's gonna be another week of collusion with Tyreek Hill on the bench, but we'll see what goes on. I'm not saying that Rock Springs Football Club is gonna hand him a victory, but maybe he might make things easier for Team Squiggs than they should be. And then moving straight in here to our game of the week. This has playoff implications, real playoff implications. Where's DeMarco Murray versus Post-Dookie Lamar? 7-5 versus 7-5. We got 51% to 49% on who's going to be able to win this game. It's a toss-up. I'm going to go where's DeMarco Murray. I think Post-Dookie Lamar's on the hot seat right now. He's coming off 180 points. The thing is, without Justin Fields, how good is where's DeMarco Murray? So we will see. But I'm just not betting on Post-Dookie Lamar. I believe I said that. No more bets on Post-Dookie Lamar for the rest of the season out of protest because of the Trey Lance thing.
All right. I want to throw more eggs at you, so I'm going to go Post-Dookie Lamar. That's basically my rationale. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, there was our Week 13 recap. As I said probably 4 times already, it is the catch-up week next week. Next video, we're gonna be talking about the catch-up week. You're gonna have your picks in by then. We'll get into all of that and more on next week's video. As of right now, we're gonna go to Derek with a very good interview. Derek, very interesting guy, got his professional setup. So yeah, here is Derek of Team Squiggs. All right, we are here with Derek D-Rich of Team Squiggs, coming in right now 6-6. Still a shot to get into the playoffs, exactly 500. So just to start us off, Derek, tell us a little bit about why you started playing fantasy football and just why you, there you go.
I always like football, so when I did fantasy football, I did a lot of FanDuel, daily fantasy sports, too. So doing season long kind of makes sense. Plus, it's always fun to, lately after college, it's been fun to keep in touch with people doing fantasy football, because there's not a lot that time just takes over.
Yeah, just college. Yeah, like every week it is something where you're interacting with somebody else. Yeah. Exactly.
So, I've been fantasy ever since I can think of, and really enjoy it. It comes to football, love football. It's the best sport ever. Even though the World Cup's going on, but it's all about football right now.
Football season.
That's right. So, but yeah, that's the short backstory to how I got in fantasy.
Nice. So, going off that, what's with the team name, Team Squiggs, with like a weird spelling?
Oh yeah, that's just that. That's been like my. So the backstory to it is more or less that way back in the day, like back in middle school, you those things where you do your name and your birthday and it gives you a random name.
Okay.
Like it could be for something just stupid, like your drunk Irish name or something like that. But this one it was just a random name and it was Squiggly Master. And I was like, I kind of like it. So then I kind of kept that, and then it kind of transitioned to Squig. So Squigly Master's kind of stupid now.
But Squiggs is still here.
Yeah. It's been damage tag for all my games I play and all that stuff. So
staying on brand. I'll say that what it is. You're on the Squiggs brand constantly. So.
Oh yeah.
I like it. So what was your strategy going into the draft? Like, did you have any going in, or just kind of just let it fly?
Can we test?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, Derek.
Just making sure. No fucking clue what the fuck happened. Me and Theo were in a Zoom call, and we were like, hey, cool, we're going to draft, because we had 2 other drafts for the other leagues that we're in, and we were already in a Zoom call. So I was like, all right, cool, we're just going to no one else draft. Fucking Josh Allen was number 1 overall pick off the board. Or it was something absurd. I think it was either Josh Allen or Mahomes or something.
It was Jamar Chase, and the kid that picked him is in the room, so.
And then shortly after, I think because I had the fourth pick, Mahomes, it was Josh Allen and Mahomes. I think you took Mahomes, right?
No, I don't know Mahomes. It went Herbert and then Mahomes, and then it was you.
Yeah, and I was like,
or something like that. Yeah.
I have no clue what I'm doing because of the keeper league, so there's obviously some strategy to it. We talked about it briefly. I didn't realize the offensive player was a super flex, so it makes more sense now. So I was like, I'm just gonna draft and get some big players and then take the quarterback. My whole strategy in fantasy in general is I hate taking quarterbacks super early. I don't see the value in it. Unless, like round 4 or 5, obviously. But, obviously it makes more sense now to take a quarterback in the first round now in hindsight, because my quarterbacks suck.
Yeah, I'm looking. You currently have Jared Goff trotting out as your starter, which isn't ideal.
Yeah, dude, my team's, my team is so up and down. I kind of hate it.
You are.
You I have a lot of good players, but, Jonathan Taylor's been off and on. Joe Mixon's been injured. Stafford the Rams just in general suck. Mike Williams has been out.
Mike Williams is the definition of up and down, and he's been hurt.
Dude, and then I lost when Joe Mixon went off for 60 points. I lost.
Yeah, that's right. You did lose. He was MVP of the week, and you lost. Yeah, that's true.
It's fucking stupid. It's annoying. So it's I'm just kind of battling. I have a lot of big names, but it's really tough.
Yeah, it is.
If I had known the format a little bit better, which is it's on me, I probably should have read a little bit deeper into it. I probably would have taken a better quarterback at least, but it really is. I'm 6-6. I got a lot of good players, so if I can make it to the playoffs, I think I'm going to be fine. I don't know if I'll win it, but I think I might be able to upset a few people if I can squeak in.
Yeah, because it's still really tight. Because there was 3 teams that were kind of in it for a long, long time. It was you, Team Trich, now currently post Dookie Lamar, and Fields of Dreams, which is Nate's team. You guys were all in it, and they kind of both separated from you. You're now third in that whole entire grouping, and the bad is the third guy doesn't get in. So that's where you're sitting.
That's always the format. Didn't get updated in time, or you didn't realize it didn't get updated. I can't remember, was it after the season started?
It was. I realized that it couldn't be the top 2 division winners until we were into the season. So now it's each division winner and 3 wild cards.
Gotcha.
So you're not out of it by any means. You're 1 game back, which there's 2 to play, and you get the catch-up week. Don't sleep on the catch-up week, which is going to be a big deal next week.
I'm just trying to fight. I'm trying to fight through it though. I mean, like I got Hopkins out, but I mean, honestly, the biggest consistency. I would say the biggest move that I made in the draft, personally, that I felt like has kind of been a really good consistency that's not really consistent, is Pat Freiermuth. Because tight ends are so inconsistent, and like
tight ends are insane.
Outside of Kelsey, like it's like 9-10 points a game. I mean, even Andrews, he's
just been hurt, like ever since, because he was kind of there with Kelsey and then he fell off.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and Freiermuth, he's getting me 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 points a game. So it's like, he's been very consistent for the position that he's in.
Yeah. And then I actually do have one more question for you, Derek, here. You're the only team that hasn't spent a single dollar on waivers. Why haven't you spent any money on waivers?
That's just how, dude, I honestly, that's kind of how I always rolled. I don't really, even in a normal league, man, I don't really fuck with waivers too much anymore. Like, I kind of let everything play out. I hate to like make the comparison, but I'm kind of like, I guess kind of like the Chiefs, where we don't really like try and go after somebody straight up. You know what I'm saying? We kind of let everybody, like the AFC West, we let everybody do their thing, and we won the division before December, essentially. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the division ended up being terrible. You're in the same division as Derek Carr and Russell Wilson. So.
But they spent so much money, and then we just made some small things. I'm not so worried about getting waivers and prioritizing that. I'll just pick up who I can. And that's how I've been in all of my leagues. I'm not really super crazy on trying to force waivers. I'll figure it out. If it hurts me, it helps me. But
I don't know. I'm the exact opposite of you. I probably made the most moves out of anybody. I probably made like 30, 40 plus moves by this point in the season. And the turnover on my roster is insane. Like every single week I got different guys starting, different guys on the bench. But we'll see.
Yeah, if you were the Chiefs, and I'm probably like the Raiders or the Broncos, because I spent all my fab and I'm playing for the tank hole right now. So in complete different worlds right now.
Well, the thing is, like the core guys that I have on my team, why would I make any big moves? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why would I, like, if all of my core guys are playing, I have a really good team. Obviously, I could probably go out and try and maybe trade somebody for a better quarterback, but I feel like Jared Goff has been pretty good at staying consistently average. And sometimes
he's like almost Kirk Cousins, because there's been games where Kirk Cousins just gets exactly his projected points. I feel that's kind of what Jared Goff does too, because he kind of hits exactly his projected number.
Exactly. I mean, I have Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Diggs, and Mike Evans, Riley Hawkins. I have a lot of really good players that I feel like I don't really need to. If I would, even Mike Williams, if Mike Williams is healthy, I can put him in my flex, and I would feel very confident about my team. I think that's one big reason too why is that like I have a lot of big star names, but they've been really fucking me on injuries lately. If I'm being completely honest.
I hear that. Yeah. Injury's been a problem this season.
Yeah, they've been a problem. All 3 of my running backs are been on IR on different stats, but 3 running backs I picked: Javonte Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Elijah Mitchell. All 3 a mess, absolute mess. So
J.K. Dobbins supposed to be back this year. Are you going to play him this week or back this week?
I traded him to you, so now I have your pick.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there you go. That's so interesting too. That's the concept I'm trying to figure out in this Super League. I don't necessarily need to trade just for players. I can trade for picks.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, no one knows how available picks are. Tyler and I both tried to collect picks, but we don't know if they're worth anything. So we'll find out. We'll find out here. Because, I have legitimately no idea. I'm going to end up having 4 picks in the first 14. I don't know if that's going to pan out for me or not, but I have a lot of picks.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. That I'm interested to see like how the draft actually works, like for the off season for
Yeah,
Keeper League.
it's going to be very interesting, and it's just going to be something that nobody knows. And I think that's kind of what the best part about this league is no one's done Dynasty. We talked to every single person in the league. No one has ever done a Dynasty league before. So we're all kind of in this together at the same time, which is why we're all, I feel like, other than Theo in weird spots, even though Theo isn't in a great spot either because he doesn't have any quarterbacks. So I don't know.
Yeah, Theo, man. I honestly, I saw that trade that Theo did for Tyreek Hill. I didn't like that. I think he should have asked for more or something. I don't know. Wait, because you gave him what? Did you get he told you traded him Tyreek Hill for 2 first rounders
and DJ Moore, yeah.
And DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess if hindsight's 2020 because DJ Moore is stuck in a clusterfuck right now.
Well, it's the thing that he's 25 years old. He's going to get a quarterback next year. CJ Stroud's going to be throwing him dots. So, I originally thought he was going to get traded too. I thought he was going to end up on like the Cowboys or the Packers or something like that, and that never happened.
Yeah, because they were talking about the Packers. They're going to unload Brian Burns, DJ Moore.
Yeah, they're going to get rid of everybody. I thought. Yeah.
And then you said that it's those are the core pieces.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Do you have any other questions, Tyler?
I think that's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have anything for us, Derek? Did you bring any questions to the interview?
I mean, not really. I guess it's been fun. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, to be honest. And I was like, I'll try it. I'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think you just gotta try it for a few seasons, and that's like what we're all gonna see. And then the only rule is if you want to get out, you got to find someone to replace you. That's the only rule, so that the league always has the amount of guys that we need.
Right.
But yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, we're gonna end the video here. As always, best roast gets $5. This has been the Not Fancy League. Thank you.
Right.